Finally, Michelle Obama has openly admitted that she and Barack sleep in separate bedrooms. Here's how it works. She sleeps downstairs, and he likes men. Chinning. The weather. Let's do a monologue. Rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
And my goodness, you want to talk about the most overrated political hype of a generation? It would go to Michelle Obama. Anyway, that's just a side note that's been on my mind for a while.
I'm happy to make fun of her look. It's very strange. It was Benny Johnson who dubbed that one hairstyle the Stegosaurus.
I'm not getting into that.
She three bumps on the back, Stegosaurus. It's very strange.
Michelle Obama thought she had it all figured out. Netflix deals, green smoothies, and a never-ending wave of inspirational quotes. But just when it looked like she was headed for a soft landing into lifestyle queen territory, Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly came crashing in like a wrecking ball at a silent meditation retreat. No warning, no filter, just pure media chaos. Gutfeld wasn't holding back. He came in swinging with snark that cut deeper than Michelle's go-to biceps pose. And Megyn, she was digging through old footage, speeches, and glossy interviews like she was on a mission from the drama gods. Spring cleaning at the White House, one user joked, but this wasn't about dust, it was about dirt. And now Michelle's PR team is working overtime, dodging questions like it's dodgeball at a scandal camp.
Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. To the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us. We have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for Trump.
So what did they uncover? Let's just say it ain't about kale chips. Something's got the Queen of Grace sweating under studio lights, and it's not hot yoga this time. See, Michelle doesn't just step into the public eye. She glides in like it's the Met Gala with perfectly choreographed hand gestures and camera-ready wisdom. She locks eyes with the crowd like she's seen into their soul, and the media responds like she just solved world hunger while knitting a scarf from recycled hope. Every time she breathes, it's a national moment, but behind the curtain of moral sparkle, Gutfeld and Kelly say there's a different story, and this one might just burn through the fairy tale image she's curated for years. Buckle up, this ain't your regular feel-good memoir tour anymore. Michelle Obama is getting slow roasted by Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld, and not the cozy kind by a campfire. More like a marshmallow trying way too hard to act like it's a firework. It's toasty, awkward, and oddly satisfying to watch. Let's be real, Michelle's political presence, it's like tofu at a Texas BBQ. Nobody really asked for it, but there it is. Marinated in inspirational slogans, sizzling with moral superiority, and demanding the spotlight like it's the star of the grill. For over a decade, she's rebranded herself as the nation's unofficial life coach, serving up snack-sized mantras about hope, unity, and believing in yourself like she's running a motivational merch booth in a half-empty shopping mall.
So, Kat, they know that they're having a hard time with men.
Right.
Doesn't seem like this is the right strategy.
No.
She basically says that they're hurting women by voting for Trump.
But I think they don't understand that where it comes from in the first place is that people are sick of being told how bad they are and talked down to, and
just when you think she's going quiet, boom, here comes another Netflix special, another book tour, another crowd of media falling over themselves like she just dropped a cure for existential dread. Megyn Kelly's clearly had enough. She's calling out Michelle's "I'm not running for office" act, while Michelle's calendar is packed like a candidate 5 minutes from launching a campaign. No official run. Then why the daily interviews, emotional speeches, and press photos that look like presidential ads with better lighting? And let's not forget the light we carry. a memoir title that sounds like Coldplay's rejected concept album. Pair that with brand deals stacked higher than a Kardashian sponsorship pile, and suddenly this humble American whispering about unity from a multi-million-dollar Martha's Vineyard estate starts to feel more like a lifestyle empire than a leadership retreat. Kelly and Gutfeld aren't buying the Saint act, and they're dragging the receipts straight to the grill. Greg Gutfeld, forever the snarky gremlin in a world full of political Tinkerbells, just couldn't hold back. He came straight for the throne and called out the circus around Michelle Obama's untouchable status. And honestly, he's got a point. Let's stop pretending. Michelle doesn't just get praised, she gets worshipped. She could trip over a puppy while spilling coffee on a baby seal, and certain networks would still call it a powerful moment of vulnerability. MSNBC would probably host a 3-hour panel on her courage, but if anyone dares to question her pricey feel-good speeches or that perfectly polished brand she's been building, suddenly it's a national emergency, like criticizing Beyonce mid-solar eclipse. Nature might just strike you down.
Republican women are too dumb to make up their own minds about President Trump. They did it because their men told them to. After that ridiculous, remember that ad the Democrats ran with Julia Roberts voiceover, where the women
I remember.
like secretly,
it's our little secret. Yep,
yeah, this is what they think of. This is what they think of Republican women.
That.
And then there's Megyn Kelly. She didn't show up with soft words or Oprah energy. She came strapped with facts, sharp takes, and a whole archive of contradictions. No flattery, no fluff, just raw commentary that hit like a mental taser to the carefully staged image Michelle's been selling. Kelly's main gripe, this whole I'm above politics act that Michelle loves to parade around, while at the same time jumping into every hot button issue, showing up on every media platform, and subtly nudging voters like a campaign manager in disguise. You can't play the relatable girl next door from a Martha's Vineyard mansion while cashing in on America's obsession with moral royalty. And Megyn made sure nobody missed it. This level of hypocrisy could power the entire Chicago skyline if you hooked it up to a wind turbine. Michelle Obama keeps saying she doesn't want to run for office. And technically, yeah, that's true. She doesn't want the job. She just wants the spotlight, the applause, the perfectly filtered admiration, without ever having to step into a debate, answer real questions, or face actual political heat. That's not leadership. That's VIP access to fame without the fine print. It's influencer energy, just upgraded with Secret Service and a Netflix deal. She's out here playing political Barbie.
Michelle Obama, listen to this.
And at this phase of my life, I'm in therapy right now because I'm transitioning. You know, I'm 60 years old. I finished a really hard thing in my life with my family intact. I'm an empty nester. My girls are in, you know, they've been launched. And now for the first time, as I've said before, every choice that I'm making is completely mine. I now don't have the excuse of, well, my kids need this or my husband needs that or the country needs that. So how do I think about this next phase?
Once again, speaking a reference to her time as First Lady negatively, and I'm transitioning. I mean, an interesting choice of words, given how the internet refers to her.
Perfectly styled, emotionally available, and forever shielded by a PR team that makes Marvel look underproduced. And it's not just harmless spotlight stealing anymore. Michelle has morphed into the emotional bodyguard of Barack Obama's legacy. Every time he stumbles or critics start circling, boom, here comes Michelle with a soft-lit monologue about hope, hardship, and the struggle of being adored while drinking sangria on Oprah's private beach. She's turned into a living pop-up window for political deflection. Basically a human Clippy. It looks like your reputation's in trouble. Would you like a heartfelt metaphor and an audience that claps on cue? And yes, it's exhausting. Greg Gutfeld didn't hold back. The king of deadpan sarcasm came in swinging, calling out what most people are too scared to say. This isn't grace under pressure. It's branding dressed up as virtue. Gutfeld practically crowned her the mascot of moral immunity. Because let's be real, Michelle's whole act is polished perfection with a side of don't question me. And he's not wrong. Greg Gutfeld put it best. Michelle's that coworker who claims to hate drama, but somehow sparks a 5